Hello and welcome to Around the Ice on Fantasy and Frames, a hockey podcast. We got a couple late games coming up here, so we're going to jump right into it. Let's hit our betting segment.
Where's my money? You gonna give me my money? Where's my money, man?
All right, fellas, what do we got here late night? Anything jumping out on us? There's a few games early on going right now, but we got some late stuff. I'm going to throw in right now. If you just want a game parlay, straight up, no props, game parlay, I'm in right now. Red Wings money line at plus 115. I'm in on Stars at home minus 220. Oilers on the road at minus 135. I've added into that a basketball parlay with the Illini. If you don't want to do that, you want to stick with straight hockey. Kraken toast. We like Kraken at LA. Is that the other one we throw in there?
Yes.
Yep, and we got Kraken at plus money too. That's going to get you at about just over plus 1,000. So actually, no, it's closer to plus 1,500. So if you're interested in that, we've got that one going. The 8 o'clock games are getting ready to start. Wings at Mammoth. Got the Wings on that plus money. Stars at home against the Blues, taking that one. Oilers at the Flames, taking the Oilers, and taking the Kraken at the Kings. Jumper on that one. We talked about the Avalanche at home against the Sharks. The Sharks have been real good lately, and the Avalanche are a little bit of a slide here, and it's minus 295, so we're avoiding that one unless you want to take the Sharks plus 1.5. If you like the Sharks plus 1.5, that's one I would jump on. Fellas, any player props we like going in these late games?
So San Jose actually goes into Chicago and Monday night, and they get 6 hung on them, which is hard to do right now considering how dog shit the Blackhawks have actually looked like on offense. It was a lot of the unusual suspects actually scoring for the Hawks in that game, like Ryan Donato and Owen Mikheyev just showed themselves. They had a great game. Mikheyev's a guy who's going to get moved to the deadline, and I think the Hawks are going to get quite a bit for him. He's a great penalty killer, tons of energy, high motor on him, really fast. Just does a little bit of everything. Just real good guy to actually have. So, you get a good look at Celebrini. Like I've watched Celebrini play and I've watched him play, but I can't say I've actually sat down and watched him play an entire game the entire time. He's unbelievable. He's such a quick shot. Just a great hockey IQ. I say all that. I like him at 4 shots for plus 100, even money. I may go heavy on that. I really like that, JT, to get started off. There's some other player props I like, but that's one of them, that Sharks-Avs game. And the Avs, man, sliding a little bit right now. You know, they're bound to actually have a little bit of a slide this year. I mean, they couldn't have actually continued to actually go on the pace they were, but they've really fell on hard times here in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, and I'll support everything you just said. Any bet with Celebrini now in terms of points, 9 points in his last 5 games. Playing good defensive teams. Yeah, the Hawks hung a few goals on him, but still they got a good goal. He got good defense. They did score 3. So I don't think it matters with Celebrini. And more than anything, like I do watch a lot of Sharks games. They're exciting. They're fun. Like all the whole, I don't know what the story is behind everybody picking in the 70s, the numbers. Eklund and Celebrini and now Misa out there with the 7-7, the 7-7. But his speed, his speed doesn't jump out like McKinnon does or McDavid. I'm comparing him because that's who you compare him to now. He's right up at points with those guys, but it's more like you said, the hockey IQ. He's in the right place at the right time. There's a guy open. Like how does a guy like that get open? And everybody, well, how do you not go put 2 guys on Ovi when he's out there at the the top of the slot, the Ovi space, whatever. That's just what they do. That what's making bad. I don't know if they could explain it. They'd probably explain it and ruin it. You just can't explain it. That's how Celebrini. That's what I see. Dude's on the ice and he's in the right place at the right time. His energy's not wasted. He's out there for about a minute per shift, and the whole time he's a threat. It's crazy. It's fun to watch. I'm enjoying every second of it. So yeah, any bet you could throw together where Celebrini's in your player parlay, that probably is your safest leg that you could put out there.
Yeah, I like the Celebrini shots, like you said, Toast. Assist for Lucas Raymond in this Red Wings game. He's been on fire with assists. First time 40-plus assists since Zetterberg. had back-to-back 40 assist seasons for the Wings, and we got plenty of time left this season. He is coming along remarkably. I love the draft pick when they took him. I know they took a little bit of heat when they took him there. People were like, "Oh, is that a little too high for him?" He's been fantastic, man. He's everything they want. Obviously, I watch a ton of Wings games. This guy makes plays. He sets people up. He came on a 2-on-1, basically double juke, stopped like he was going to slap shot it, and then just laid the prettiest little puck pass to the corner, and Casper just tapped it in the other night against the Avs. It was unbelievable. I mean, he looked like he was like deke right, deke left, set up. I'm going to crush it, and just pop past it and right off Casper's stick in for the goal. He is looking good, man. Only 23 years old. I'm loving what I'm seeing out of Raymond. So I'm on him on an assist. Stars went through a little bit of a downturn there, but I like them tonight. You get a couple guys. I think Ratnan for a point is a nice one there. And then we had, some of these Edmonton guys struggled there for a bit. Going against the Flames, who've been a little bit better lately, but they're still one of the worst teams in the league. I still think you can go McDavid, assist. McDavid 2 points is a good bet if you want to put that in the player prop. I like that as well.
Yeah, and JT, I like all those. And you really, McKinnon's kind of been for McKinnon, not McKinnon, right? These last couple of games, and so
we're getting like the 1 or 2 weeks. Everybody has a little slump. We're finally getting the McKinnon slump. He's been on fire all year. It's like the last week or two we've seen him finally go. Like, I think he went back-to-back games without a point for the first time all year, like a couple days ago. So it's like we're finally getting that little dip out of him, but he's going to come back. But now it's maybe the time to pull back slightly on guys like that when they hit a little bit of that slow roll and then get back into him, because he's been an absolute champion to bet this year.
Oh, definitely. And I actually also, JT, with your Red Wings actually going tonight, and these are games starting like here in 2 minutes. But I like John Gibson over the saves right now, and I would imagine that's probably around.
He's been absolutely on fire. He's been
really, really good. Utah's been shooting the puck of late. They're getting a lot of shots off goal. They've been hot. They've won 7 out of the last 10. If you're like, okay, well, Tosta, they're really, Utah doesn't score the puck a lot. They have been. I like the over on that one as well. This is a game where, again, John Gibson, I'm trying to find a thing, but I'm guessing it's probably over 24.5, somewhere around there, saves. That's another real good one.
Yeah, I like that one a ton. Who else we got going? Anything you guys like in the Vegas game? You guys staying away from anybody in that game?
There's another game I actually like as far as player props go. Jordan Eberle and John McCann have actually been really, really hot for Seattle right now. And Seattle's just got something going, man. And I think the Kings are just, how boring they are. But the Kings, I'm just not – how can you get excited about the Kings, right? So I really think Seattle's playing some of their best hockey right now. And McCann has really been hot. Anytime goal for McCann right now, that's got to be a good play. You got to hit plus 240. That's a great price for a guy as hot as McCann right now with the puck. Eberle is plus 275 as well. So either one of those guys, but McCann plus 240. That's a great prop there for an anytime goal.
Yeah, I'm just pulling up the Kings roster real quick.
They suck.
Just because they got Panarin today, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But he's instantly their highest scorer by 12 points. So
that's hilarious.
And he's at 57, which is, that's a good year. Right? It's a point per game for him, but he's done better. But that's your leading scorer. These boring asses. Yeah,
boring asses.
It is though. It is. There's nothing that drags on like a Kings game nowadays. There's no. Byfield, I thought he would take off too. That was one of my preseason picks. He had great playoffs, and he sucks. He's so oh well.
Another one that's good, JT, tonight, and Aaron. I like any points for Mark Stone, of course, but you're not going to just want it that at minus 370. So I'd switch over to the assist with Mark Stone. That's minus 185 for 1. but basically if you can go 2 at plus 240, he actually had 2 last night or 2 nights ago versus Anaheim. And this is a Vancouver team who just gives up goals in absolute bunches, man. And they're and Stone's kind of been everywhere right now. I like Mark Stone for 2 assists tonight at plus 240. That's a good one. You could also go ahead and go with the over on that one as well. The over 6.5. Vegas has got to play better than what they've been playing, and Canucks are going to bleed a bunch of goals tonight. Lankinen's in net. So they've just been holding on for dear life. Demko would actually have helped them maybe right the ship just a little bit, but of course he's out for the season. That's what he likes to do.
Right. He's had surgeries from head to toe at this point. There's not one part of his body that has not gone under the knife in the last 3 years.
Hey, what's wrong with that guy? I mean, seriously.
I think he's addicted to it. Maybe somebody should look at that. Is he addicted to surgery? Is he what's
could
that?
Be addicted?
Yeah. Somebody look.
JT, if we pivot off betting here, I do want to talk about that Celebrini, not the Celebrini, Macklin, Gavin McKenna issue. So
let's jump in. Let's jump in around the ice. Let's talk about what's going on around the league.
Oh, the good old hockey game is the best game you can name, and the best game you can name is the good old hockey game.
So let's jump in there and get us started here on news and notes, stuff going on around the league.
All right, so you guys tell me what happened with this Gavin McKenna thing. Aaron, are you and JT? Are you guys in tune? And then I want to give you my thoughts on that.
So anyone who's listened to the pod hasn't seen it yet. Gavin McKenna, who's right now projected to be the number 1 pick in next year's NHL draft. He is at Penn State, playing for Penn State this year. Also on Team Canada in the World Juniors. Was on that team. Had a fantastic tournament in the World Juniors. There was a team get-together. It was a family night for Penn State. A bunch of family and friends were in town. There was a get-together, and someone supposedly was harassing McKenna's mom and wouldn't let it go. And team players, and this is speculation right now, so I want to put that out there. Speculation. I read this, some quotes of some people I knew that had seen it on a Penn State message board, said that there was a team get together, the guy upset him, they got him away from the guy, and the guy would not stop, kept harassing McKenna's mom. Eventually he punched him in the face and broke his jaw. So we know he can fight. We know he can punch. So that's a bonus. But he is getting brought up on a bunch of charges. Of course, anyone who's ever dealt with the court system, of course, they're already putting out a felony charge that faces 20 years in prison. There's no way that's going to happen. That's just what they do. They like to charge the most heinous thing they can charge, and then they bring it down because that's how the justice system works in America. So I think this is going to end up, it's going to be in the news for a while here. And maybe there's going to be some GMs that look at it and go, ooh, is this a character flaw? Is it not? Is it a guy who can't, hold his temper? I'm guessing teams are going to go out there and they're going to interview the families. They're going to interview the team and be like, hey, was this someone standing up for a family member that was like getting harassed and assaulted? Because I don't know about you guys, but if somebody was up in my mom's face, sending a bunch of stuff in my mom, I can guarantee you I'm jacking that dude in the face. I'm absolutely punching that dude. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. I've walked away from I own bars and restaurants. I walked away from a lot of people saying nasty stuff to my face. And I'm like, I don't care, dude. Not hurting my feelings. Who are you? I don't care. Someone gets in my family's face, that's another issue for me. That's a whole nother, especially if it's my mother. And supposedly it wasn't just one thing. This guy was not leaving them alone. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out on this. I'm hoping this is something that doesn't hurt his draft stock, that people go back and they're like, hey, this is a guy standing up for a family member at a team function where someone was like crashing the team function and trying to mess with him. We all seen it. I know you guys, I've seen it where like people see somebody that has a pretty big name, especially in college level, and they just want to mess with those people. They want to go up. They want to talk to them. They want to yell at them. I've seen it plenty of times, especially in college. You get drunk college kids out and they just want to harass people that are well known. So I don't 100% know that's what happened. Those are some of the rumors out there right now that is what was happening. Obviously, I don't think this guy, he's a hockey player. I don't think he's just unprovoked fighting people. I would think that's very, very small chance of that. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, but I'm hoping this ends up turning into a nothing burger. He does some community service, and I've seen a ton of people in fights in my life. And like I said, as someone who's owned bars, worked at bars, done all some, I've seen a ton of fights in my life that turn into nothing. They just let it go. So I think the only reason this is even an issue right now is because who he is and what his name is. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything you just said. I'm not even going to add anything to it because I'd say you're spot on. Again, and you always the disclaimer. Let's wait till the facts are known. And yeah, there's everybody's got a cell phone out. There's probably video. But to your point, the only two things I'll tack on is you talk about the drunks and they chirp and they see a star. I mean, there's a certain level of that, and maybe it wasn't intentionally or set up, but the dude's got some NIL money from NCAA. I mean, heck, I'd take a punch in the face for $500,000. You set up a civil suit, forget arrested him, forget the criminal. I'll just take him to court and be like, yeah, pay my bill times 10, and then I walk away. I take a punch in the face for that. Not defending what happened or whatever, but who knows? But the other thing I'd say is you talk about the drunks, the college, whatever. Everybody's trying to get clicks. So who's to say that this dude's not taping them? So, oh, there's Gavin McKenna. Hey, da 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 da. And then you start sure. Oh, it's funny. Or you see the pranks that tickle that walk right on the line. Throwing water on somebody, throwing someone when they're trying to shop at Lowe's or whatever, just get a reaction. Throw a garbage can over their head. These kids are getting knocked out now. Nobody's put up. There was one up in Minnesota that got shot. Got up in a guy's face. Dude had a concealed carry, shot him. It's like there's this. That's the whole culture too. So you're kind of fighting both of them. So being a celebrity now, not that I feel bad for him. If everything that we see right now is accurate, then sounds like the dude got what's coming to him, and I would totally agree. I hope it doesn't affect his stock. And he played in the Western League. They fight in the Western League. That's how they live. But
I mean, back in the day, you just be like, "Hey, that guy's a hockey player. I should probably leave him alone. He's gonna beat the shit out of me." But like you said, these days, people are looking for clicks. People are looking for money. I mean, look at it. Just came out that the guy in the Detroit Lions fan who got in a fight was chirping at DK Metcalf. Now he's doing $100 million lawsuit against DK Metcalf and the Steelers and everything. I mean, people are just looking for cheap money. I really hope that's the case and that like he didn't like just be a drunken dumbass and go after someone. It doesn't sound like that. See, it was a family event. Like the whole family is like, he's a young kid. Maybe he went out and got wasted, did something stupid. That happens. Like that happens. Right. You're like, oh shit. But doesn't sound like that was the case and that there was family members involved. And it was someone who was constantly, chirping at his mom, which would anger most people. So hopefully this all gets cleared up. Like you said, Aaron, I think the idea is like, don't jump too early to conclusions. Let things let them kind of figure out what's happening and then go from there. Hopefully this ends up turning out all right. And again, it doesn't affect his long-term, not only as a hockey player, but just like as a person. You hate to see somebody that young do something that affects and changes the course of their life.
This is a clickbait story. This is a zero story. There's nothing to this. When I say there's nothing to this, think about how many times the three of us have actually been in a bar and actually see something like that happen. And actually somebody come out and say, oh, this is a felony charges, 20 years in prison. That's nothing but a clickbait title. That's it. Hell, guys, I saw my brother Gail. He choked some guy in a La Bamba one night. I was there.
I got punched in a La Bamba one night. I got punched in the face in a La Bamba one night. So I understand. I know La Bamba's a crazy joint.
He had him in a chokehold. I mean, I was with another guy who actually just literally laid a guy out on the concrete. Ambulance came. Okay. This is just clickbait. That's where I think, if anything, just in my opinion, this does nothing but actually, if I'm a GM, this helps his draft stock. Not that he actually needed any help anyway.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
He's gonna be a number one pick, but it ain't gonna hurt him. Like this is, This is ridiculous. This is a
I mean,
ridiculous
Toast, if
story.
you look at our like Discord, our Black Aces Discord, like that's one of the guys jumped in and says like, "Oh, dude, he knows how to throw a punch. I like him even more."
Yeah,
And
yeah,
you're like,
I like
"Oh,
him
he's
even
standing
more."
up from his family members. Like, I like him even more.
I mean, that's
So-
the key right there. It's not like he was out drunk with a bunch of
Right.
friends, actually making bad choices and
trying
actually
to be an
looking for a fight.
asshole, like, "Oh,
right?
look at me,
I
I'm
mean,
big and bad and fighting you." You know, and
If
that's
you
a different
read,
story.
yeah, if you read what actually happened, and actually being again a team function with family there, and then actually this incident occurred, anybody would react that way. I think if you didn't react, you'd be already like, "What's wrong with you?" You know. So
Yeah.
I don't really see anything about it. It's good. If anything, I want him more on my fantasy team. That's for sure. So
Other big news, Panarin, we talked about last week. Maybe he goes to the Wings, maybe a couple other teams. The deal is done. He is going to the Los Angeles Kings. He signed a 2-year extension for, I think it was $11 million, if I'm correct.
That's right.
What do we think about that move? The Kings, a team that's like, they're on the verge. They've been more of a defensive team. Like you said, Toast, like it's not like the team's been put up a lot of goals, but they've been really good defensively, really good in the goal, been in the mix in the West. What do you think about this move by the Kings?
well, I think that they obviously needed to make this move. It was shocking that the Kings was actually the ones that landed him. I mean,
Yeah.
if I actually needed him, but let's talk about maybe why they were able to land him. So first of all, the Rangers have no leverage. They have no leverage at all right here. He had a no movement clause going right now with his contract. He still actually only has $5.8 million against the cap prorated for the rest of the season. And he was a sitting duck. I mean, his contract's up, right? So it's not like they could actually shop him to whomever they wanted. They couldn't.
Yeah.
And it's not like they could actually shop him and say, "Hey, look at this sweet deal he's actually on," and you could actually have him wrapped up for 2 more years. He could have said no to anybody, and he could
Yeah.
end up just walking. They get nothing. So that's why Liam Greentree's a real, really good prospect. He is. Actually, I got a couple shares of him. Real good.
They got him, and I think
And a
it
third
was
rounder.
And
Yeah,
a
it's yours.
third, and it moves up. They get a second if they win a round in the playoffs, and they get an extra fourth if they win 2 rounds of the playoffs. Which, as a GM, I'm a fan of those moves. I'm a fan of those like little outliers. Like you put them in the contract. Like, hey, if they do nothing with him, fine. But hey, we gave you this guy. If he helps you get farther, we get better draft picks. So I'm always a fan of those type of moves.
Yeah, a lot of people was just like, "Hey, maybe you should have actually got more for him." This and that. That was never going to happen. It was never going to. You had no leverage in a deal at all. So they're lucky they actually got something. And I think again, Greentree is actually a really good prospect. But a third rounder, like whatever. But it's a shocker that he actually wanted to go there. I was talking to Gail earlier. I'm like, "Hey, California's a little bit closer to Russia. You got the Bering Strait up there. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, it's kind of weird, right, that he actually wanted to go to the Kings, but he chose the Kings. I would imagine there was a lot more suitors out there than just the Kings, but that's where he wanted to go.
Yeah, it must be a city because he played for Chicago, New York, and L.A. The three.
He likes the big cities, baby. He wants to see. He wants
nightlife guy. Yeah,
he's touched part of America right now. So
yeah.
But yeah, that could be nothing but a shot in the arm for them. I mean, they need it. They got Kempe and Fiala, and honestly, from an offensive production, that's about it. And really, not even those guys actually tear the world on fire. So it'll be interesting to see. I don't expect this to be like, oh my gosh, like franchise changing move, and they're just going to be a juggernaut. Now, I don't see it. So.
All right, I'm going to run through some of the scores tonight, and then let's break down where we're at in the league right now as we're coming up on the Olympic break. For anyone who doesn't know and hasn't been paying attention, I know some people I brought it up the last couple of days. People are like, "What?" I'm like, "Oh, we got a month break coming up here." So tonight and tomorrow is the last games of this session, and then it's a month-long Olympic break. So far tonight, Blue Jackets win at home 4-0. I know we all talked about trying to get to that game. My cousin Kirk lives in Columbus, trying to get to that Blue Jackets Blackhawks game. Schedules didn't make it happen. They lost 4-0, so it's probably good we didn't go to the game. Just been more mad. So 4-0 Blue Jackets take out the Blackhawks. That's the one game that's final right now. Utah has the early score on Detroit. They're up 1-0. Florida in the third is up 4-2 on Boston. Montreal 4-1 on Winnipeg in the third. Minnesota Nashville, a scoring frenzy, 4-3 Nashville currently at the beginning of the second period. And then scoreless right now, just underway, is San Jose, Colorado. Again, we talked about betting a little bit earlier. You still have a few more minutes to get some late night bets on. Stars at home against the Blues, kickoff at 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central. Then you have Oilers at Flames. That's 10 Eastern, 9 Central. Kraken at Kings, 10 Eastern, 9 Central. And Canucks at Golden Knights, 10 Eastern, 9 Central. As we actually have, for our slate night people, a really nice late night slate tonight of games going. And then tomorrow, betting stuff, anything you want to do, a good slate about, I think there's about 6 games tomorrow as well before the Olympic break. What do we think? Kind of where are we at here now looking at this first half of the season? I know usually we look at the All-Star break, but I feel like this Olympic break is the big time to talk about, all right, where are we looking at these teams post-Olympic break when they come back? Who do we like? Who do we think is going up? Who do we think is going down? Any thoughts on these guys? Aaron, I'll let you start.
Yeah, I'll make the prediction right now. I think Seattle's out, San Jose's in. I think San Jose's going to come back and go on a run. These guys are going to get and I think the Ducks are going to stay in too. So I think the Ducks and San Jose are going to make it to the playoffs on the Western. The reason why is because these younger teams, they run out of gas. They're not used to the 82 games. They're getting a break. They don't have a whole lot of representation. Yes, there's some of their bigger names are going over to Europe to play, or Europe, over to Italy. I guess that is Europe, but they're going over to the Olympics, so they're going to be playing, but it's not everybody. So they've got some depth in there. They got to stay in shape, keep the legs going. Some of these other top heavy teams that are sending a ton of people over, your Colorados, your Minnesotas, your whoever, Edmonton, those guys are sending everybody over. They're going to be playing their asses off over there. So I look at these teams that don't have a whole lot of representation, but are holding on to dear life, or maybe just out of a playoff spot. So in the West, I'm looking at those two to make a move. So maybe that means Edmonton, or I'm sorry, maybe Utah falls out, Seattle falls out. I don't know, but it's just how I see it. On the East, I think we're pretty set, and I'm excited as hell that it includes Detroit and Buffalo and Montreal. Love it. Love that those teams are back. I feel like it's we just got in the hot tub time machine and went back about 20 years when these guys were automatic bids in the playoffs. So I think the East is set. No way Toronto's coming back.
They're dead.
Ottawa can't stop a puck. If they only had a goalie, they would have one of these spots wrapped up. They would be where Pittsburgh's at. But anyway, yeah.
How about the Panthers? Let's talk about the Panthers. Obviously the injuries been piling up, and they have played an astronomical amount of games the last couple of years, going all the way to the finals back to back. They are shockingly dead last in the Atlantic, and they're third to last in the entire Eastern Conference with 59 points. Talk about a team that really needs to put it together, but God, do they have any legs left? Can they make any run in the second half? Or is Florida's this the down year where they're like, F it, we're out. We're just going to tank early, get rested up, get healthy for next year, and make a run next year?
That's exactly what I think, JT. And I look at it, the Hawks. The Hawks didn't ever have a gap where they missed it, but they were bounced out of the first round a couple of times. And honestly, as a Hawks fan, I didn't mind. Take a year off, dude. We got cups. If I was a Florida fan, I'd think the same thing. They are hats off, a great organization, a great team. They had a very successful outdoor game this year. I love Florida. Hockey belongs in Florida. I love everything about them. I don't care if they take a break. Matty Tkachuk, 6 points in 8 games. He's getting warmed where he needs to be a nasty little shit out there for Team USA. That's all right. I care about. Just get him up, geared up, ready to go, and let's get that gold. So, no, Florida, take the year off. Everybody relax. Just chill. Just chill. Let somebody else take a run at the cup, for God's sake.
And I'll add here as well that I 100% agree with you, Aaron, as far as I know fans won't want to hear that, but basically you got to be thinking as well. Yes, having a little bit of time off isn't going to be a bad thing, but thinking they're going to come back after the break and actually be a juggernaut and actually push forward to the end. When you actually just mentioned all of the games played the last 3 years, 3 cup finals in a
Right.
row, 2 cups as well, but also 2 on top of that. Reinhardt, Bennett, Marchand, Kachuk, all of their big dogs are playing Olympics, and they're all actually playing to win, man. They're not going to be getting any rest on the legs, that's for sure. They may come back dog tired.
I mean, these guys are absolute stud athletes, but like at some point, you just run out. You run out of gas. Your legs just can't handle. I mean, they played a ton of games. I don't think people understand when you make that deep run in the playoffs. 1 year is a lot. You do it 3 years in a row, you've played a whole extra season almost. It's crazy how many more games you've been. I'm with you guys. I think Florida. I think they give a little push right after the Olympics. I don't think it's enough, and I think they start shutting it down. I think they realize, like, we're just out of this year. One of the things I want to talk about, because we talked about it as a kind of a disappointment, and we just brought it up earlier, Blue Jackets win 4-0 over the Blackhawks. 7 in a row for the Blue Jackets. They went from dead last in the Metro so now they're 4th in the Metro, just 4 points behind the Islanders in the Metro, which has been a pretty good division, is really average this year. They're a very average division. Can Columbus sneak their way back in with this kind of run? Can they get back in and maybe sneak in for a late playoff berth?
Well, they hire Rick Bonus, and the rest is history. Right, Aaron?
Yeah. That's what gosh, who was it? Merzlikins, Elvis Merzlikins said that his first game back or something like that. They're like, well, what's the change? Well, new coach. Oh, really? Just new coach? He's like, new coach, and then he walked away off the interview. But
that was it.
Yeah, I think that they're, again, they're one of the cusp. Yes. I mean, the short answer would be yes. And the only thing with the Blue Jackets and Werenski, taking nothing away, he is an elite defenseman, but kind of leading the charge again. I mean, that's a little odd, head scratch there with the offensive talent they had. They broke. Let's see what they give when Pittsburgh Chinikov left. So some of the Russian 5 left. They kind of broke that up. That seemed to work last year. Wasn't really clicking this year. I mean, those guys, but they still have firepower. Like we haven't. Kenton Johnson fell off. From what he did last year to this year, he doesn't even look the same. So
no,
maybe he catches fire. They've got the potential and they've got the youth, and they don't have the Olympic representation some of these other people do, or some of these other teams do. So to answer your question, JT, yeah, I think they could possibly grab that spot. Again, if you go, maybe they snatch it from I hope to God not. I mean, the Bruins could care less. So you take the Bruins spot. Bruins are playing really well, so I don't know. But
currently,
they're only
they're only 3 points behind the Bruins for the extra wild card spot. Okay. So now, Bruins 68 points. Columbus sitting at 65. Montreal's holding the number 1 wild card spot with 70 points. Though, just keep in mind, this is how down the Metro's been. Pittsburgh's in second in the Metro with only 68 points right now. So you have 6 teams in the Atlantic better than the Metro right now. So it's going to be interesting when that kind of breaks out.
JT, one thing I wanted to mention too, as far as this, if we're just going to talk about player runs right now, I'll just switch the subject real quick, but Kucherov's on another planet right now. I don't know if you guys have actually seen his statistics since like December 8th.
Yeah.
He outscores by himself 6 NHL teams for their entire season output as far as their high scores by himself in this stretch alone. December and January alone. Like right now, he's actually up to 29 goals and 61 assists, 90 points in 50 games. But since December, a man possessed right now. It's unbelievable. This would be the 3rd year in a row if he can actually pull it off, where he'd actually lead the league in points. So, and that Hart Trophy race is tightening up.
Dude, it's going to be a
It's
beast.
tightened
Like
up.
looking at points, overall points, all that with him, McKinnon, McDavid. This is gonna be a race to the end this year. We actually talked about early in the year when Tampa Bay kind of got off to a slow start. We're like, yeah, what is it? Is this team like if they just finally hit the wall? Because we like expect this team to be super offensive. I mean, in my redraft leagues, I was over the top drafting Tampa Bay players. I was like, oh, I want all those lines. They're just going to score a ton of points. I'm like, I want Genzel. I want Hagel. I want, Point. I want all those guys. I was trying to take as many guys as I could. And they got to a real slow start. And you're like, ugh, what is wrong with them? And they have turned it on lately. I know in our
They're 18 1-1 in their last 20.
Yeah, in our listeners league, I took a ton of guys from the Wings and a ton of guys from Tampa Bay, and I got off to a bad start, and my team is rocking and rolling the last 5 weeks. I've been killing it with those guys.
I'm glad you brought up Kucherov, Toast. I would say he's on a short list of guys, like maybe top 3 for me. There'd probably be some. I'd probably need an interpreter, but just to have dinner or hang out with a guy, it'd be Kucherov. And the reason I say it, 2 things. Remember the All-Star game where he went in, you just kind of, and then there was another one.
I
after
lost
one of the
so
Cups.
many bets all that because I was like, oh, Kucherov is by far the most talented player, and then he went in there half-assed it, and I was so pissed because I had bet on him all the skill challenges, and he was like, and then people had all those memes where they're like, oh, you're giving a Kucherov effort, because they're you're not trying at all. And then, but yeah, he's been a freaking beast.
Yeah. I think that there was another one where after one of the Cups and he was bombed, and he had some good quotes. He had beer all over his shirt, but the one that stands out, and it's still kind of fresh because they just had the outdoor game, the goalie fight game. It was incredible outdoor game this past weekend. What a treat! And to see Cooper dressed like a pimp, that was just hilarious. That whole thing was just people were saying hey, if you've never seen hockey and this was your first game, the goalies fight. It ends in a shootout. The coach is dressed like a pimp. What would you think? But
beautiful.
The point about Kucherov, and then I'll stop on this. But point about Kucherov is when they were walking in, they were dressed like in those old school Buccaneers uniforms, the football uniforms. Kucherov looks like he wants no part of it. He's super skinny, so he looks like a punter. They all look like you could definitely tell the body type difference between an NFL player and an NHL player. It's off the charts different. But Kucherov above everybody else just looks miserable. He's like, I don't know why I'm wearing this. I don't know what this means. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm really uncomfortable, but he's a good sport. So it just seems like a great guy. I think he'd be worth some laughs, and he's Russian, so he's crazy. So I just think he'd be a really funny guy to probably hang out with for an evening.
One of the other teams we need to bring up real quick is Buffalo.
Yes.
Oh my God. We talked about at the beginning of the year.
Good for them.
Man, this team has a ton of talent. They got off to the worst start. They're 21-6 in the last month and a half.
They can't lose.
I mean, they are absolutely everybody that we've talked about for fantasy wise. This guy's a stud. This guy's a stud. This guy's a stud. So weren't doing anything, and now they're all coming to life. They're all coming to life. They made a couple trades, made a couple moves. I always bring up my guy Doan. Move to get him. He's been on fire. I mean, still angry that I didn't get Dahlin Rasmussen. I didn't get Dahlin in my in our home league. I'm still pissed about it when I got snaked in the opening draft. But this team, Tage Thompson, it's like this team. Everybody's putting together. Dahlin, Thompson, McLeod. Doan out of nowhere, 39 points for him. I mean, even guys even on the defensive side, you got Matisse Samuelson. He's coming through along. Guys that were like, this guy's okay. He's okay. They're all starting to really turn it up at the right time. And this is a fun team. This is a fun team. I saw someone, I follow a lot of guys that do jersey stuff on Twitter, on the X, because I love uniforms, my very thing. Somebody did a combo with yellow and blue. They did the yellow and the blue with the new Buffalo logo from the black and red days. And they brought that logo out on jersey with the yellow and blue. I was like, oh, I'm like, that would be pretty sweet. And they're like, what do you think about this? I'm like, oh, that's cool. Go the new logo with the old school colors. Because I never understood when they went black and red. I like black and red and gray. I mean, look at me. Look at what I'm wearing. I like black and red and gray, but I'm like, that's not the Buffalo Sabres, right? That's not the Buffalo Sabres. So I actually thought that was really cool. I would love to see them implement the newer Buffalo Head logo with the old school yellow and blue and white colors. But this team is fun. I don't know about you guys. I'm rooting hard for Buffalo getting the playoffs.
Yes.
I like this team.
Yeah, I love the deployment. That second line with McLeod and Quinn and Zucker, and I got some shares of Zucker. I love Zucker. For an old guy, he's actually been really good. That's a great second line. Just good balance. With they can stack with Tuck and Thompson on top, and they get a guy like Krebs to give him a little bit of a experience. Doan be on the third line, but then they're smart enough, to actually put Doan on that top power play. So you just like you said, JT, they're real balanced scoring. And youth, across the board as well, sprinkled in with a couple veterans there. And, as far as their goalie actually plays go, do they actually have Ellis? I know UPL's been hurt here and there, but goaltending,
well,
right?
That's the other thing is he has been, they've said with the injury, he is not going to play for Finland now in the Olympics. That hurts them, but it probably is better for Buffalo that he rests. Gets healthy and is ready when they come back. So he
Ellis
is not
and Lyon.
Yep, he's going to get replaced in the Olympics. But that should help him coming back.
Yeah. This isn't the first time Lyon's done this. He did this for Detroit. He's done this for seems to go in. He's real hot for about 20 games. So we might be getting to the end of that. So to your point on UPL, when he's back and he's healthy and hopefully this rest gives him to that, then he'll be ready to take the net back. And then you got Lyon as the backup. And I totally could see these guys hanging on to this spot. And again, happy for him, especially after how the Bills went out and what's his name was crying and all that. It's just let's get a win over there. Let's get to the playoffs and then let's see what happens. And no Florida. If you don't have Florida, it's wide open.
It opens it up a lot, right?
You've got Buffalo that could go. You've got the biggest juggernaut then becomes Carolina.
Really
and they
wide
always
open, right? With no Florida feels like the East for the first time in a while will be pretty wide open. No stud Rangers team. Boston down. Even if they make the playoffs, they're not the Boston that we saw setting records. Right. So the East feels really wide open. It feels like it could be just an epic playoffs.
Yeah.
And I always bring this up. Early in the year, Gale tried to wanted Josh Doan, and
who didn't Gale want?
And he was trying to get him hard for me. And I'm looking at the stats. It's like, man, you know what? I probably should give him up. But I was like, I felt good about him, especially when he got traded from Utah to Buffalo. Yeah. I just felt like, man, this is a young, good team. I'm like, man, if he can find a spot in Buffalo, I feel really good about him. And, man, 19 points last year in 51 games. 56 games this year, 39 points in 56 games. 120 shots to 88, up 15% shooting percentage to 8. Also gets 52 hits, 23 blocks. I like him. I'm glad I held on to him. Sorry, Gale. I know you were pushing hard for him, but I was like, I just had this little thing that told me, like, don't trade Josh Doan. Don't do it. I know he's not worth a ton, but don't trade him just yet. And I held on to him, and so far it's worked out for me.
Yeah, he's been great. So any of those dynasty leagues, any listeners out there that are in those dynasty leagues that stuck with him, he definitely has the pedigree with his dad, Shane Doan. Just an all-time legend in Phoenix. Gets the trade, and man, I talked about Celebrini being right place, right time. And again, I'm not going to say Celebrini's slow. He's not. He's fast. He's super fast. He's elite fast. But Doan is a little bit slower, but he does that same thing where he's right place, right time. Back checks, plays well, matter of time before he gets bumped up in the and he's a line one at some point. He probably he and Tage Thompson would be a pretty interesting dynamic duo that eventually one day. But I love everything about him.
Guys, we're coming up on the hour here shortly. Toast, you got one last word. I was going to say, let's throw it into fancy hockey, talk about the playoffs here, unless whatever else you got to add. Go ahead.
Yeah, I will say tonight too. One bet that I actually kind of like that's kind of has hit me here. The Edmonton at Calgary. Edmonton's got to come out and actually just try to pump somebody. I mean, they really have actually, lost. That's a bad loss at Toronto at home. It just
Yeah.
I mean, I could understand losing at home to Minnesota, but if you look at here's their last 5 games. 7 goals, 10 goals, 7 goals, 11 goals, 11 goals total, right? So that over 6.5, man. I mean, you got to imagine that's coming tonight, and I really, really like to parlay that with the Seattle game later on.
I'm putting that in.
Those
I like
two's looking real good, but you might even actually put over 7.5, 8 goals in that Oilers and Flames game. The Flames will screw around and be sneaky on you, though.
I like this.
Cooley will do it.
I like this. So we thinking Oilers over in that game, and then we're thinking Kraken, right?
Kraken money line, and then the over on the Oilers Flames. If you can parlay those together,
like
you're probably going to be somewhere around plus 350. But I feel real good about the Kraken tonight, and then the Oilers. That's going to be just they got to come out big, and their recent showing goes is they're just going to give up a ton. They're going to score a ton. Devin Cooley for the Flames have actually been surprisingly pretty good, and the Flames have actually been playing a lot better of late.
Yeah. It's not their their goaltending is solid. It's the rest of the team that sucks ass. But with complete opposite with Edmonton. Like at this point, would Edmonton be better off just playing with six skaters? Just like forget it. Like we're not going to play anybody in net. Nobody can hold that.
Just push it. Push it. Don't even play goalie.
Go all offense.
I mean, one of their defensive players could probably stand in front of the goal and block shots just as well.
Bouchard's playing very well, 11 points in 5 games. He's a stud. So he's defensively sound. Yeah, just put somebody just kind of lag back there.
Wait, what was that big Samoan wrestler back in the day who was just just ginormous. But Gale said for years, like, well, I don't know why NHL teams just don't lay like a big sumo wrestler, just like in this crease, just lay them there. I mean, it wouldn't be a bad thing, and they can move, and sometimes they're deceptively quick. Like, I don't understand why they just don't get like really big guys. I know pads got to fit them. I get that. There's a regulation on pads, so we got that right. But still, and one thing too, I did put in a 3-leg parlay for an anytime goal, a lotto one tonight. I got Teddy Bluger anytime goal. That's it. Bluger's been real good. I got him in our dynasty league, and in short time this year he came back. He's been really good, hot, plus 600 on a goal alone himself. The Jared McCann leg as well, like McCann tonight, just like McCann, and then Joel Farabee at home versus Calgary as well. He's down there like at plus 425. I think Calgary's going to score some goals tonight. I mean, Edmonton, elite goals. You can put the 3 of those together. It's plus 16,300. A $3 bet gets you $410. So I went ahead and laid that. Let's go.
I'm tailing on that. You spoke.
Put $5 on it, JT.
You spoke my language. You're like plus 3,000. I'm like, I'm in.
So we got Bluger, McCann, and Farabee. Those are the 3 goal scorers tonight.
I'm tailing that. I love that. All right, let's for the final 10 minutes here, let's talk about fantasy hockey going into the end of into the break here.
But hey, as they say in hockey, let's do that hockey.
So a little bit of a crazy thing with fantasy hockey. Depending on what your league you're in, this is probably playoffs. You should be in playoffs. If you're not in playoffs, I'm not sure if your commissioner is doing it correctly, but you should be in playoffs right now. A lot of leagues, Toast, you can speak to this as our commish. A lot of leagues are doing this week plus the week when we come back, which seems pretty crazy. That big stretch as the first round of playoffs, and then moving on from there. Any fantasy advice? Obviously, most leagues are pretty much locked in at this point, other than a couple pickups here and there in redraft. For Dynasty, there's going to be a guy or two, maybe if somebody gets hurt at the Olympics or somebody comes back, you can pick up a guy to fill in some time. But any advice here going in as we're hitting the final stretch of fantasy hockey playoffs?
Well, the advice from a schedule perspective for any commissioners out there, you would have already had to have done it. If not, you should probably actually fix this. moving forward. But then again, we don't have Olympic years every year. We do actually have 4 nations here and there, whatnot. But we actually have our league. We're in the playoffs. We're in the first round. But this first round actually lasts 5 weeks. Like, well, 5 weeks, that's crazy, Toast. Well, you only have 4 games this week. And then you actually take the big break for the Olympics and you come back on February 25th. Then you have a week and a half. So you basically have half this week and you have a week and a half on the back, and there's your 2 weeks matchup. And 2 weeks, it's got to be 2 weeks. If you play any type of, I think, any type of league, it better be a 2-week matchup, and you better end a week early of the regular season if you want to make it a legitimate league. Because if not, anything can happen in 1 week. I mean, so I like our format. It's actually worked out really well. We are in our quarterfinals right now. We'll be in the semis, and Aaron, I win, I automatically play you. I mean, so it's you're resting your guys. Your guys are resting, right? They're getting rest. My guys are playing. So I'll be limping in there a little bit, but it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
If you're just in a regular redraft league, Aaron, right? If you're in a regular redraft, it's not big money. Say it's like $15, $20.
That's fine.
I can understand like a 1 week per playoffs,
Sure.
but if you're in a big time like dynasty league, you just spent 60 games of the season in. I feel like you got to play 2 weeks in the playoffs. I mean, the discrepancy of the amount of games that can get played depending on who's on your team and your goalies, especially if you have goalies, which me and Toast have been bitten by this in other leagues in the past. Depending on how the goalie situation works, I think you got to do 2 weeks just to make it legit, make it fair. What do you think as far as that's concerned?
Yeah. Without question, it's got to be 2 weeks. It's too much at stake. The season's too long. I would say this if you're out there in an NBA league, if you're in a baseball league, roto league, got to make those 2 weeks. It's just these long seasons. It's just not fair. Football is the only one, but that's the structure of football. That's the only one that makes it.
But I always, like you're saying, I always bring it up in football is you don't have to worry about getting unequal plays in football.
Right.
Everyone has the exact amount of starters. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
You do not have that in basketball, baseball, and hockey. And if you have the best team and you lose because someone randomly gets 5 plays 1 week more than you just because of the schedule, that's infuriating. It's infuriating. And for you, especially if you're in a dynasty league, for you to turn around and drop good dynasty assets just to get a guy to play to hopefully get some points in the playoffs, to me, that's defeating the purpose of dynasty a little bit. And like, I'm going to drop guys I actually like or rookies or young players and get this 4th-string guy just to try to see if he can hopefully score me a point because I'm 5 plays behind. To me, that kills me. I'm like, that's why I'm like, you got to do this. And not to say that 2 weeks evens it out all the time, but it's more likely to make things even on those game plays, right?
Yeah, definitely gets you closer. It's as close as you can get to having a perfect system where the best team comes out on top, not just the luckiest. It takes that luck out of it or reduces it as much as you can. The only other advice I'd throw out there, but again, to Toast's point, it's too late. If you have a limited number of moves or you have draft capital to spend, just keep a couple on hand. We don't know what's going to happen in the Olympics. We might see a big name or two go down. The teams that are out there still playing in the playoffs, whether it's 2 weeks, 1 week, after this break, you might not have those guys in your roster. So you gotta save a little bit of juice. If it's unlimited, don't worry about it. Just play it by ear, but just get up early when the waiver wire gets called out or put in your picks early. But if you got some draft money or whatever, if you got limited picks, I hope you held on to a few. If not, it's too late and you should have done that, and shame on you.
Well, and JT, one thing I'm going to bring up here as well. We're actually talking about fantasy leagues. Man, you got to set your lineup. All right, you got players all over your bench. Set your lineup. Did I lose JT? No,
you're talking about me because I totally blew it today. I got stuck watching the Nice, and I went to check my teams. I was like, I didn't get my teams.
Let's go.
So mad, so mad. I was hoping
You're
you didn't
looking
bring that up.
okay. You're looking okay.
I looked at the end of
Yeah.
the show and I was like, oh no. I actually, like, as we started the show, I was like, oh no, I don't know if I got my lineup in. We were at Jupiter's playing games with
Yeah.
the niece.
Eh,
So that's what I was
it-
doing. And I
yeah.
went to check my lineups and I was like, oh, games already started. I didn't get them in. Pretty pissed at myself, not going to lie, because I got to win that number one pick, which is a good segue into if you don't make the playoffs and you're a commissioner, set up some kind of system where the guys that don't make the playoffs can fight for the number one pick. Do that. Keep teams involved. Don't like it just like, you're the worst team. You get the number one pick. I hate that. I hate that. It promotes just bombing.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to cough. I've been sick for like a week straight now. But make it some incentive to try to fight for that number one pick.
Yeah.
JT, last thing I'll actually say here as we wrap up, we did actually, I'm sure you put a little bit of money on the Illini tonight, 47-19 at the half. Wagler actually makes a 53-foot three-pointer from beyond midcourt to actually end. And, of course, we actually know that we were going to pump Northwestern. I will say Northwestern normally actually plays Illinois pretty tough, regardless. Like, stay within 10. They're just known for that, but not this year's Illinois team. This year's Illinois team is
Especially
really,
at
really
Northwestern.
good.
Northwestern, I will tell you, the betting odds, if Illinois is at Northwestern, you got to take Northwestern points.
Yeah,
Because they always cover at home. But Illinois is putting it together tonight. I have Illinois dominating up to number 5 in the country. I put on a bet about a month and a half or 2 months ago for them to win the national title. Don't want to jinx it, but looking good. I like where they're at. This is a fun team to watch. Just to give everybody a warning, this is our final show for a little bit because of the Olympic break. Make sure to check us on X or Twitter when we have the next shows. We'll put them out there when we're going to do it. We'll probably do an Olympic either show coming up to the Olympics or a recap, depending on what we can work in. But we'll definitely do an Olympic recap show. We'll do something, and then we'll have a playoff show as far as bets. We'll talk about playoff bets, who we like, doing all that. At this point, if you're in the fantasy playoffs, you're in. There ain't much we can probably tell you to do much for you at this point. It's win or go home. We hope you guys win. We hope you bring home a title. Me and Toast are in some battles in a couple leagues. I know Aaron's the same way. I'm fighting for the number one pick in our home league again, as I just barely missed the playoffs for the second straight year with a ton of injuries. But we keep making it happen. So everybody keep setting those lineups, keep going through. We'll be back. Not done for the year just yet, but for fantasy advice, this is probably the last show on that because you're going to be in your championships. It's going to be one and done on that. But we're going to come back. We're going to talk about Olympic hockey. I know you guys love it. I love Olympic hockey. It's my favorite. I hope this stadium is a disaster. Anyone who hasn't followed it, they're absolutely still trying to finish the stadium as we speak. And there's supposed to be a game tomorrow, women's game tomorrow. So hopefully they get this thing figured out. But I'm pumped. I have my Olympic jerseys hanging over there in the corner. I'm going to break them out during the Olympics, wear all my jerseys. It's going to be a great time. If you've never watched Olympic hockey, this is the time to do it. It's going to be fantastic. I feel like, what do you guys think? Last minute and a half of the show, what do you guys think Olympic hockey? I know we'll get into it later, but I think it's going to be an absolute phenomenal tournament.
Yeah, I agree. And if probably most listeners have some sort of idea or have been a part of it. It's and if you haven't, that's perfectly fine. Welcome to the game. It's a great game. Get on Netflix right now. Watch the 1980 story. It's an awesome documentary. There's a million documentaries about that 1980 game.
Fantastic.
This one's probably from beginning to end the most comprehensive. It's got the most stories. And they found some footage that had been in a warehouse in Texas for years and years. So some of the stuff that you're seeing hasn't been seen for 40 some odd years. Go watch it. It's really well done. They put a lot of money, time, effort into it. And if you're not already pumped up, that will do it for you. You'll get ready and you'll be right into it.
Yeah, I will say there's no doubt no doubt. And I'll make you guys. We should end up doing a little bit of maybe a short live cast during one of these games here, where we can actually watch the game, commentate on it during the time. We'll do that.
I did throw it out there. If we can get the timing works right with one of these silver, bronze, gold medal, or like quarterfinal games, if we can do a live broadcast during one of the shows, we'll do it. So got to break down the schedule, got to see our schedules personally and what the actual Olympic schedule, with it being in Europe when the games are actually going to be on. It is definitely something we're going to keep an eye on. So we stay with us, because we are definitely going to bring you some Olympic coverage. We just don't 100% know when that looks like yet, and what that looks like and what time yet. But we will definitely be all over the Olympics.
Can't wait.
And we'll have some betting props for you on the Olympics.
Oh, of course.
We might have to do a little quick show, jump in. So keep an eye on that. We might have to do some betting props. So for Aaron, for Toast, I'm JT. That's going to do it for us tonight. If you've never watched the Olympics, you never watched the show, watch Olympic hockey. It's the greatest. It's literally my favorite Olympic sport of all time. It's the absolute best. Good luck in your fantasy playoffs. I hope you win. If you didn't make the playoffs, I hope you win the first overall pick. Good luck, everybody. We'll talk to you next time. That's going to do it for us here on the Around the Ice podcast on Fantasy and Frames.